The PlayStation 5 is going to change the game with its incredible graphics. A next-gen Navi GPU, ray tracing, 8K visuals, the console is going to come with plenty of bells and whistles that'll wow us gamers until the PS6 comes out in 2028 or something. It seems like with every passing generation, we think video game graphics have peaked. But technology always finds a way to constantly evolve and surprise us. We'll get into what we expect the graphics to look like on the PS5 and how to get the most out of your PS5's graphics. So you might be buying a new TV shortly after watching this video.
And look, there's Magnetbox and Sony.
We can't wait until the PS5 hits the shelves sometime during the 2020 holiday season. While there are so many awesome specs in the PS5, what interests us the most are the graphics, and we're sure you guys are also interested in how they're going to look on the next generation console. It's hard to imagine how the PS5 could have better graphics than the PS4 Pro, but trust us, they'll be better. When you think about it, it's crazy how far the graphics have come on PlayStation consoles. The original PlayStation was a very innovative 32-bit 5th generation console, as it was one of the first to move on from those bland 2D graphics and replace them with 3D polygon graphics. After all, they don't call the 5th generation of video game consoles the 3D era for nothing. Along with 3D polygon graphics, we also got texture mapping, lighting, shading, anti-aliasing, and texture filtering, as well as improved color depth and resolution. It was arguably the biggest step forward, at least graphics-wise, in video game history. Then we got the PS2, which was advertised as a 128-bit console. The main innovation of this generation was online gaming, but we also saw some relatively large improvements in terms of graphics. The graphics synthesizer was able to render much more polygons compared to the PS1, which translated to more lifelike images. The PS2 graphics absolutely blew people's minds back in the early 2000s, and so did the fact that it doubled as a DVD player at a time where DVD players were quite expensive. All of this led to it becoming the best-selling console of all time, with over 155 million units sold worldwide. As incredible as the PS2 was, it was the PlayStation 3 that truly got people talking about video game graphics. The console used a 550 MHz RSX reality synthesizer based on NVIDIA G70 architecture that was able to play games in 1080p HD. The console wars really got intense during this period, and we got constant graphics comparisons between the PS3 and the Xbox 360. They both looked great, let's just end the discussion there. Anyway, developers have had some issues with the graphics of the PS3, but overall, the console had incredible graphics, and it was also a Blu-ray player, so it was a smashing success, despite the shaky launch. And when we didn't think graphics could get any better, bang, we got the PS4. The console uses an AMD Radeon-based Liverpool GPU, and the graphics are an improvement over the previous generation. We finally started to get real player faces in sports games, and realism was just taken to a whole other level entirely. The PS4 Pro allowed for 4K visuals, which are absolutely stunning, even though not all games supported 4K. Games just looked so real that we thought graphics finally peaked, but of course, that's not the case. Technology is always getting better and improving, and here we are today with the PS5. Well, it's not here yet, but by the end of the year, we'll be getting our hands on the console, and saying we're looking forward to it is an understatement. The PlayStation 5 is going to change the game when it comes to graphics, which has been said about every single console ever created, but we mean it this time. While the GPU of the console hasn't been confirmed yet, we do know that it will support ray tracing. Only a few GPUs can support ray tracing, which is why the console is rumored to use a next-generation Navi GPU. How strong is this thing? Well, if it is indeed going to be in the console, then that means the PS5's GPU will be just as powerful as the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2080, which is an incredibly powerful graphics card that launched in September of 2018. Yes, that means the GPU in the PS5 will be just as powerful as a 2-year-old chipset, but developers know what they're doing, so this shouldn't be a big deal at all. There's also a rumor that the PS5's GPU could allow for photorealistic graphics, which would really be a step up from the PS4. But like we said, it's just a rumor, not a fact. According to The Last of Us developer Bruce Straley, what we can expect, along with ray tracing, are more realistic environmental effects, like smoke, water, and wind. And most importantly, better hair, which is one of the hardest things for developers to get right. At the end of the day, it's a really big deal that the PS5 and Xbox Series X are the closest consoles have ever gotten to gaming PCs. For so long, the so-called PC master race has been on their own level as far as graphics are concerned. Because, well, when there's a new graphics card that's more powerful than the one currently in their PC, they could just buy it and upgrade their system. As much as we'd love to do that with the PS5, it simply isn't something you can do with the console. But still, the fact that these consoles are essentially becoming unupgradable gaming PCs is incredible. In fact, there's a chance that the PS5 is going to be more powerful than your gaming PC, and this is where things start to get interesting. Console gaming has always been living in the shadow of PCs, but these powerful consoles are going to change everything. The PS5 and Xbox Series X could change the perception we have of console gaming as a whole. And with the ever-increasing popularity of cross-platform games, we could truly see a united front with PC, Xbox, and PlayStation gamers all playing in unison. Yeah, Switch players will be there too, but their graphics are just a step below the rest. There are more benefits to improved graphics on the PS5 than just a change in perspective. Oh yes, there'll be plenty of other changes that'll actually affect the games themselves. We mentioned ray tracing earlier when talking about the GPU that's rumored to be inside the PS5. If you've never heard about ray tracing, well, it's only been mentioned in pretty much every single article about the PS5, so you must have been living under a rock to have never heard about it. Okay, that's not true. Casual gamers probably don't know what ray tracing is, so here's the skinny. It's an incredible effect that we've wanted to see in video games for a very long time, and finally it's going to be coming to the next generation of consoles. It's a popular technique that's being used in big-budget Hollywood blockbusters more and more, and it's even beginning to become very prevalent in high-end PC processors and the NVIDIA RTX gaming line. Ray tracing would improve the visuals and make games more lifelike since it mimics the way light moves around and bounces off of objects. All in all, it would improve the graphics of games and make the virtual worlds more immersive for gamers, which is something we could all get behind. There are plenty of Red Dead Redemption 2 players who are still freaking out about all the little details in the game. And it's already over a year old, so just imagine the possibilities with a next-gen Navi GPU capable of ray tracing. We're getting excited just thinking about it. A more powerful GPU in the PlayStation 5 will also improve virtual reality. While we're certain that the PS5 is going to support virtual reality, we don't know if Sony is working on a new PSVR headset, or when it'll be released. There are rumors that Sony's working on a new PSVR headset for the PS5 that may even launch alongside the console. From what we've heard, Sony hasn't forgotten about VR and wants to make it an important part of the PS5. If it doesn't launch with the console, the rumors are saying it'll launch a month later in December 2020 or early 2021 the latest. Whenever the new headset comes out, we know that it's going to be a huge improvement from what we've seen previously. A better GPU combined with an upgraded headset means that VR developers have a bit more room to work with and will be able to push the console to its limits in terms of VR. We'd love to see more PSVR exclusives and as many VR versions of popular games as possible. While all of these graphical upgrades sound great, you might have to make some alterations to your gaming setup to get the most out of your PS5. What do we mean by that? We mean you might need to move your TV to the basement and replace it with a brandy new one. And no need for one of those overpriced curved screen TVs either. Since it's confirmed that the console will support 8K visuals, it's important to get an 8K TV or monitor, but just the resolution isn't enough. Oh no, that TV or monitor also needs a high refresh rate to reduce input lag as much as possible. For that reason, we recommend a TV with a 240Hz refresh rate. But even 120Hz is good as well, as most TVs are within this range, so it's all good. Monitors will be a bit harder to find and much pricier, so we'd stick to a TV if we were you. If you already have an 8K TV with a 120 to 240Hz refresh rate, then you're all set for the PS5. As for the games you could expect to see on the PS5, well, not much is known as of yet. The only exclusive we heard of so far is Godfall, and as you can expect, the trailer looks absolutely beautiful. And it's supposed to be actual in-game footage and not just cinematics either. Okay, that doesn't really mean anything when it comes to trailers and demos, but still, if the game looks as good as this, then we're excited to see how other PS5 games will look. They're going to be beyond stunning. As for other games, we'd love to see Ghost of Tsushima on the PS5. The trailer looked so good and it's coming out this summer, which is months before the 2020 holiday season. So we're crossing our fingers in the hopes of getting a PS5 version of the game at launch. You gotta give the people what they want, Sony. We definitely can't wait for The Elder Scrolls 6, which we think is going to be released in 2021 or 2022. We highly doubt we'll have to wait until 2025 to play the game like a recent leak suggested. There's a good chance that if the game does come out a year or two from now, it'll be released for the PS5 and Xbox Series X. We're also interested in Rainbow Six Quarantine, which is confirmed by Ubisoft to be released on next-generation consoles. It's coming out later this year, and it's about damn time because we've been waiting 5 years since Rainbow Six Siege. 5 long years. That game was so good, and we know quarantine is going to be just as awesome. We'd love to play Cyberpunk 2077 on the PS5 eventually, but they're working on the PS4 and Xbox One versions first. That means it could be a while until we see it on the PS5. But we do know that it will eventually be released for the Xbox Series X through Smart Delivery, so it's most likely going to be released on the PS5 as well. And speaking of Smart Delivery, we'd love Sony to do something similar to Microsoft for the PS5. If not, we'd still be fine with playing the PS4 versions of Ghost of Tsushima and Cyberpunk 2077 on PS5 with slightly worse graphics. No biggie, but we definitely prefer PS5 versions as well. Games are going to look unbelievable on the PlayStation 5. Can it just be the 2020 holiday season already? We want the console now! What do you think about the PS5's graphics? Will they be a huge improvement from the PS4? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to The Gamer for more gaming videos. Thanks for watching.